Okay, so this will be part two of my comparison between Gears of War and Call of Duty. Uh, I'm using right now the AUG with the silencer. This is actually the first time I use the AUG and the silencer. I've seen people using it and it seemed pretty good. So I used it, and for the first time, not bad at all. I'm very proud. Um, but anyway, last episode I talked about how the creators of Call of Duty don't care as much anymore about their games just because their games are so popular. They don't need to advertise or improve it just because people will buy it regardless of whether the game is good or not. And also, I talked about the players because it's not just the creators' fault, it's also the players who exploit uh, features of the game because One Man Army, like I said, One Man Army, it was not designed for noob tubing. One Man Army was designed to give more choices to the player, but the people exploit it, and that's the problem I have with it. But then again, you can't do anything about the people because it's, I mean, there's nothing you can really do. They're gonna keep doing whatever regardless. You can't stop them. So basically, we cover that, and now I wanna the second part of my argument of Gears of War versus Call of Duty is when it comes to gameplay. Now, like I said before, I'm not saying that Call of Duty is worse than Gears of War. I am saying that Call of Duty is faulty in some aspects, but it's still a pretty good game, and I prefer, keyword I prefer, um, Gears of War, just because to me it seems a more balanced game. Now, I another part of the argument I got with my friend, he's like, well, in Call of Duty you can do a lot of cool shit like quick scopes and no scopes and 360s, and I'm trying to tell him, well, you can do that too in Gears of War. Quick scoping, that's called pop shots in Gears of War, and no scopes, that's called blind fire. So the Call of Duty literally has nothing that other games don't have, and it just kind of gets me mad when people don't give other games a chance. Personally, I think I have the right to say that because I played a wide variety of games that go from Call of Duty to Gears of War to Red Faction Guerrilla to sorry to Guitar Hero. Yeah, just Battlefield. I actually have some footage from the Battlefield beta, but I'm so bad at it. I'm not even gonna show. I'm not even gonna show it. But yeah, and my friend's main argument is like, well, people buy millions of people buy Call of Duty every year. How many people buy Gears of War? And that gets me mad because Call of Duty has a great reputation behind it. I mean, who doesn't know what Call of Duty is? And Call of Duty, basically, what gets me mad about it is because of that reason, it doesn't let other games grow. It basically overshadows great games, and I think it's kind of upsetting that people don't give other games a chance just because of that. Um, but here we go, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna piss some people off with this, but here we go. This is why I think Gears of War is better than Call of Duty when it comes to gameplay. Number one, balance when it comes to the weapons. In Gears of War, you have okay, true. There's not that many weapons compared to Call of Duty. Yeah, I think we can all agree on that. Gears of War has a very limited amount of weapons when it you know whether whereas in Call of Duty you have a friggin' arsenal at your disposal. Okay, granted, you got me there, but that's what makes it balanced to a certain point though, because in Gears of War, every player has the same type of weapons to work with, so there's no like overpowered weapon. You can pick from the weapons they give, and the players will have the same weapons that you have. So it's not like there's a difference of weapon. And the really cool weapons are pickup weapons, so you have to go on the map, pick them up. Kind of old school, but it's effective. And on that aspect, I prefer Gears of War. And other than that, I mean, Gears of War has been known for having a bad connection over the years. It's just been really bad. But I mean, when you look at games like Black Ops, I dare you to play 5 games in a row, and can see the host not quit or get a 2 bar connection. Or I mean, Black Ops is just known for its horrible hit detection. I think that's why we all know Black Ops, where you shoot somebody and they die like a second later. Oh, they shoot you even though you're behind cover, you'll die. It's like they shoot you, the bullets curve around the corner or something like that. But yeah. Also, Gears of War, and this is my main argument. This is why I love Gears of War. Gears of War requires a lot of skill to play. Now, I'm not saying Call of Duty doesn't require skill. I'm just saying Call of Duty requires less skill than Gears of War. Simply because Call of Duty, you can be successful in Call of Duty just by moving around. Like you only need four buttons from your controller. You need the left thumbstick, right thumbstick, the I don't know, LT and LR or whatever the fuck they're called. I don't even know. But you need the thumbsticks, and you need to know how to aim and how to shoot. And that is it. You can be a successful Call of Duty player if you know how to do those. However, in Gears of War, you have to know how to use the cover system. You have to know how to dodge. You have to use teamwork, which is another aspect that I like about Gears of War. In Gears of War, you can't win without your team. There's no such thing as a one-man army in Gears of War. You can't just go into a room and kill 5 people. I mean, it happens, but it's very, very rare. It usually happens to very skilled players. And in Call of Duty, you can just spray for days. Spray and pray, and you can get 4 kills. You can't do that in Gears of War. In Gears of War, you need to work with your team. You need to dodge. You need to actually have skill. I've been playing Gears of War now for about 2-3 years maybe, and I don't consider myself to be a good player. I consider myself to be an okay player when it comes to Gears of War. I have some good games where I'm actually pretty good, but I've seen people that just blow my mind. People that will take out the shotgun and just headshot everybody and just walk like nothing happened. People that would take out the sniper and headshot 4 people. That's skill. That requires a lot of skill and a lot of luck. But in Call of Duty, I just don't see that anymore. I mean, show me something new in Call of Duty. Like I pretty much have seen it all. Quad feeds with grenades. I got one of those in the channel. With the RC car, freaking multi-kill. I got one of those. And I'm working on a montage right now where I got like a lot of cool clips like that. But I just don't find them challenging to do. It's time consuming, yes, because it doesn't happen. Like you need to set it to like you need to wait for the right moment. You need for the right setup. You need to have like 4 people in front of you. Take out your shotgun and just start smashing heads. Basically, just start blowing up heads. But it's basically in Call of Duty, it's more of a little bit of skill combined with a lot of luck. And whereas in Gears of War, it requires more luck. I mean, more skill to do those things. And I mean, that's my main argument. It's a more challenging game, and it kind of gets me mad when people don't give a game a chance just because it's underrated or they just don't feel like playing. Like my friend, I don't want to say his name because I don't know. I don't have his permission to use it, and I don't want to piss people off. But he said, "Oh, play Gears of War," and I didn't like it. I'm like, "Well, you play Gears of War for like what, 30 minutes? That's not right." I played Gears of War for the first time and I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. But then I took a gamble. I decided to buy it. Yes, I bought Gears of War 2 days before Modern Warfare 2 came out. So literally, when everybody was playing Modern Warfare 2, I was playing Gears of War, and I'm glad I did because I love Gears of War. I didn't like it at first; it was challenging, but then I started playing it, and I realized this is an awesome game. How come people don't play this as much? And I don't know. I've been thinking about this for a long time, and I just I'm I'm very disappointed in both the players and the developers of the games. I think people just have are close-minded, and I can understand why people love Call of Duty. Call of Duty is very simple to play. Anybody can pick it up, which is why it sells so much. Uh, you can play Call of Duty within like 2 weeks of using it. Like you can be a good player. Actually Call of Duty 4. I don't know if I mentioned this, but Call of Duty 4 was my first game. The first game I ever played on Xbox was that because coming from Cuba, the only game system I was used to playing on was the Super Nintendo. So like really old consoles, and then I started. I wasn't familiarized at all with the Xbox 360 controller, so I started playing Call of Duty, and I started doing good because it was just so simple and easy to pick up. I mean, I started doing good with a controller I've never played with. And that's when I realized Call of Duty is actually very simple to play. It's very easy. Now, you can develop some of the skill, but it's still easy. Alright, so that's it. Please don't hate. This is just my opinion, alright? Peace out.